Can we get away this weekend? Take me to Broadway. Let's go shopping, baby, then we'll go to a cafe. Let's go on the subway, take me to York. I've never been to Brooklyn and I like to see what's good. Dressed in all your fancy clothes, sneakers looking fresh to death. I'm loving those shell toes. Walking that walk, talk that slick talk. I'm liking this American boy. American, take me on a trip. I like to go someday. Take me to New York, I like to see LA. I really want to come kick it with you. Would you be my American boy? American, take me on a trip. I like to go someday. Take me to New York, I like to see LA. I really want to come kick it with you. Would you be my American boy? American boy. La-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da, la-di-da-di-da. Would you be my American boy? American boy. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, then I'll be watching roll away again. Sitting at the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Oh, I'm just sitting at the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, heading for that Frisco Bay. I had nothing to live for, looks like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just sitting at the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, sitting at the dock of the bay, wasting time. Looks like nothing's gonna change, everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. I'm just sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. Oh, 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. And now I'm just sitting at the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Oh, I'm just sitting at the dock of the bay, wasting time. Friend, oh friend, it's 4 a.m. What are we doing in the street? I don't want to buy fried chicken. I wish that I was gonna sleep. And I don't want to kiss you underneath that flashing sign. What's the hurry? We're not ready. We've got plenty of time. So maybe you'll get married and maybe fall in love. Could you make me fall asleep when you're holding me? Try to set me on fire, try to set me on fire, try to set me on. There's someone else, but I twist all of his words and dates with mine. So I'll have to let him go. We sometimes fail, but we always lie. And he thinks we could make it work, but only when he's drunk. You think you could help me swim, but I've already sunk. So maybe you'll get married and maybe fall in love, 'cause you can't fall asleep when you're not holding me. Go get set on fire, go get set on fire, go get set on. Friend, I am a slow mover. Friend, I am a slow down slow, girl. Trying to be kind, crawling in another world. And maybe one day we'll get married and maybe fall in love. Could you make me fall asleep when you're holding me? Try set me on fire, 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 try set me on. First I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. Then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong, I learned how to get along. And so you're back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. Should've changed that stupid lock, should've made you leave your key. If I had known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go, walk out the door, just turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with goodbye? Did you think I'd crumble? Did you think I'd lay down and die? Oh no, not I. I will survive, oh, as long as I know how to love. I know I'll stay alive. I got all my life to live and all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey.
Good morning. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to the University of New England and to the graduation ceremony for the awards in the Faculty of Science, Agriculture, Business and Law. Graduates, family, friends and the UNE community, may I ask you to now please stand for the entry of the academic procession and the Chancellor of the University of New England, and please remain standing to join us in singing the National Anthem. Thank you.
Lately I've been up and losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we couldn't be. Baby, I've been up and praying hard, said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah, we'll be counting stars. I see this life like a swinging vine, swing my heart across the line. In my face is flashing signs, seek it out and you shall find. Old, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that bold. I don't think the world is sold, I'm just doing what we're told. I feel something so right, I'm doing the wrong thing. I feel something so wrong, I'm doing the right thing. Couldn't lie, couldn't lie, couldn't lie. Everything that kills me makes makes me feel. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard, so no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard, so no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. I feel the love and I feel it burn down this river every turn. Hope is a four-letter word. Make that money, watch it burn. Old, but not that old. Young, but not that bold. I don't think the world is sold. I'm just doing what we're told. I feel something so wrong. I'm doing the right thing. Good lie, good lie, good lie. Everything that drowns me makes me want. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard, so no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Please be seated. I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land that we call New England and pay my respects to their elders past and present. But I would also like to recognise the custodians of the land that the university operates on all around Australia and that we work on, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the winter graduation ceremony for Science, Agriculture, Business and Law. It's a great day. It's a day of celebration, not only for you and your families, but also for the entire university community. It's what we're here for, to produce students, whether they be with a diploma or a PhD, that can go out into the world and make a difference to the communities and the industries that they work in. It is also compulsory for you to enjoy yourself and to enjoy yourself with your families. It's the end of a long track, or it's the end of the beginning of a long track. So enjoy it. And before I call upon Colin Ahoy to make Welcome to Country, I'd like to thank the Arala Centre at the University of New England for giving me a sash. I appreciate it enormously. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to open the ceremony and call upon Colin Ahoy.
I am honoured here today to continue the modern Australian custom of respectful acknowledgement and welcome of traditional owners of this land. As we gather on this sacred land, let us acknowledge that we're standing on country for which the members and elders of the Yanawan people and their ancestors have been custodians for thousands of years. Here they have performed age-old ceremonies, celebrations and initiations. We acknowledge their living culture and unique role in the life of this land. As caretakers of this land, Aboriginal people used fire as a way of rejuvenating the country, of bringing new life for the animals and the inheritance of a rich, fertile land for our future generations. We acknowledge the elders past and present and their ancestors. While there has been great change to this land over the generations, we know that in our hearts that the stories and the spirit of the Aboriginal nations will always be written in the landscape. The great challenge to all newcomers to this land is to open our eyes to see the stories written, open our hearts and hear the songs that have been sung, and feel the sacredness of the land on which we are standing on today. As a proud member of the Anaiwan people, I welcome you here today, Chancellor.
Before I call the Vice-Chancellor, I would like to welcome our special guests today. Our occasional address speaker, Ms Cassandra Banks, Deputy Chancellor Ms Jan McClellan, Vice-Chancellor and CEO Professor Chris Moran, Emeritus Professor Ray Cooksey, who is our Squire Bedell today, my fellow council members, members of the university community and you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Chris Moran, to introduce today's occasional address speaker.
I promised a small person in the cafe this morning that if I did a little jig on the way here, it'd be for her. What I forgot to add was that if I did the jig, she had to come and enrol at UNE in 10 years' time. 30 years ago, a telephone rang on a major cattle and wool property not far from here called Abington. The phone was answered by the steward of the property, a property that had been in the hands of New England graziers and wool growers for many, many years. The person was James Harris. On the other end of the phone was a small voice. It said, "Your paper's coming on Tuesday." James Harris doesn't have a small voice. His response was, "What papers?" "The papers for the Council of the University of New England." Got the wrong James Harris. Click. A few hours later, the phone rings again. "Hello," small voice. I've got the right James Harris. Your papers are coming on Tuesday." James Harris has been on the Council of the University of New England for 30 years. And in November this year, he'll step down from that role. And I guess will become a grazier and a wool grower at Abington, not far from here. James has overseen around about 80 graduations, shaken the hands of well over 10,000 graduates. He was awarded an honorary doctorate from UNE in 2007 for his services to the university, and therefore in the confines of the context of our university and its proceedings, he's appropriately known as Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris has always had a strong and loyal connection to UNE. There are so many things you don't see, there are so many things you don't know that make a large institution like this work, and the pieces have to come together. So the work of the Chancellor is often invisible. There are large landmarks, new buildings, major changes, responses to things like pandemics and tornadoes and droughts. But it's the many, many other things that make the university work, where the work is for the Chancellor and as the representative of the institution as well. James Harris is also a quiet philanthropist. He's supported a number of UNE students with scholarships to help them realise academic ambitions that might otherwise have been out of reach. James, we hope when you leave our university, you continue to be involved with us in those pursuits of helping others through our university. I've only known James Harris for about 12 months. I've been the Vice-Chancellor here for 12 months. And as you might have noticed, he's a rather imposing figure. When I first met him in the process of being recruited here, it's quite interesting to meet someone and shake their hands upwards. I'm not a tall person, but I'm not a small person either. What you don't see underneath the gruffness of James Harris is a caring heart for this institution, a long-term commitment to ensuring the University of New England can continue to graduate people like you to have the sorts of futures that the amazing graduates of our university have had and continue to have. James is also fond of a good laugh, which is very helpful for an incoming Vice-Chancellor with a 7'7" Chancellor, imposing 30-year history of running the institution. And James, I've personally very much appreciated that aspect of our interactions and the fact that we can balance the serious business of the future of our university and the jocular nature of some of the things around that. And in that vein, I guess I would like to reflect on one important thing, which is in our country there's incredibly important policies working their way through for higher education, really important for the future of the country. And one of the critical things in there is, what is a regional university? Folks, you know you are in a regional university when the council meeting opens and the Chancellor starts with the following words: "You will have all noticed in the Angus Bull catalogue this week that..." How it related to the business of the university, I can't quite recall at the time, but there's no doubt you're in a regional and rural university when your Chancellor starts a meeting like that. James, thank you. We all thank you and formally see you off the premises, as it were, later in the year, formally. This is the last graduation. You will be the last hands shaken. Perhaps, I don't know if it's the end of this line or this line, perhaps you will be the last James Harris graduate of the university. Perhaps we'll give you a special certificate later. James, as a tiny token, we took a photograph of you yesterday. It's a bit hard to get it in real time, but we have a photograph from the graduation yesterday. So not only do you get a sash today, but you also get your graduation photograph. Could you please join me in thanking Dr. James Harris for his service to this university? Bit of an unruly lot, aren't they? No one told them to stand up. Okay, to you. Rather incredibly, it's incredible for a Vice-Chancellor. I've asked a lot of Vice-Chancellors that I know if they've met the first graduate of their university. And most haven't. I have. There's a chap called Peter Battle. He lives in Tamworth. He was the first graduate of our university for two reasons. One, his surname started with B, so he was at the front of the line. But the second and more important reason is that we started as a college of the University of Sydney. Yeah, I know, it was quite tough to get going, but we got going, and then we shook them off. In 1954, the people sitting in your seats had a choice. Would they choose to graduate from the University of Sydney or choose to graduate from the University of New England? Peter Battle chose to graduate from the University of New England. And I asked him, how did you make the choice? What are the things you were thinking about? His steely blue eyes, well into his 90s, he just looked back at me, he said, "I don't know how you could ask me that question." His teacher in Tamworth, he said, I haven't really affected much in my career. I'm not one of those graduates that, you should be extra proud of. And I said, "Peter, how many of the population of Tamworth have been through your classroom?" And he looked, he said, "Oh, a lot of them, Chris." I said, "That sounds like quite a lot of impact for a city of 100,000 people to have the ripple-out effect of one individual as the first graduate of our university." That story is very relevant to you. It's very relevant to how you proceed to use the knowledge you've got, who you share that knowledge with, and what kind of career steps you take. My message to you in there, it doesn't matter what you're graduating from today, be generous with the knowledge you've got. They say knowledge is power. It's corrupt power. It's horrible power. Knowledge sharing is powerful. So keep that in mind as you move into the workforce, as you start your own businesses, perhaps some of you moving into a research career, that sharing what you've got will make you a much stronger person. When this university started, there were three very fundamental, unconventional things that the visionaries who started our university did. The encapsulation was education for all. This was an unusual thing in the 1920s and then through the depression of the 1930s to when we were started under the auspices of the Grand University of Sydney. Education for all was not the norm. education for children from elite, wealthy families was the norm for universities. So you're graduating today from a university that had a remarkable foundation. And if you watch the people who graduate today, you will find that you are not from the elite, wealthy families of Sydney. You're from all over the place. They went out and they educated a group of people that no one really imagined either needed or should get access to education. They were adults, because adults didn't go to university. Look around you. Look at the people who are graduating today. That's the beginning of a university of access and inclusion. Before that term, the policy and government programs were in place to do it. They also decided that you shouldn't have to leave where you lived to be educated. Second radical proposition. So you don't have to go to Sydney, we'll establish in Armidale, but you don't have to go to Armidale either. This is the time, 1938, where post was delivered in a lot of places by horse and cart. So they set up a whole process of paper, post and return so that people could get access to education on their properties in their towns. Have access to the university as well, that was an important part of it, but that was quite a radical thing to have done. And quite a few of you today have received the gift of that vision. That is, you've been able to live a life, you've been able to work, and you've been able to reset your life and your direction as a result of that foundational vision. And then the third thing they did, and they were told this wouldn't work, they got an expert to come, New South Wales government got an expert to come from the United Kingdom. And that expert came to tell them that regional education couldn't work. It was a folly. They had to stop this nonsense of starting a regional university. And he had two prime examples of the failure in the United Kingdom to indicate this. One was called Cambridge and the other was called Oxford. Obviously educational failures. So they set up a college system here. And again, some of you will graduate having been through the colleges here. They did not set up the colleges as a place to sleep. They did not set up the colleges as a place to drink. They set up the colleges with the expectation that you would study for your degree. That's your part of the deal. The university's part of the deal was to provide an environment in which you could become the leaders of the future. And we're incredibly proud as a university of the leaders who are in our communities and internationally who have become those people. You have that opportunity to become those people. You've seen and feel what it's like to lead, because our university doesn't hold the hands of all of the colleges. Our university allows the students in colleges to find leadership, to work with one another, to define and run things. So from my perspective, those three radical things that were done around the time of 1938 provide the opportunity for you to graduate today. And I'd leave you with the thought, how will you take those opportunities to others? In the future, we intend to become more unconventional again. Why? Well, all those big logo universities that thought we shouldn't be here have essentially copied everything that University of New England did with that vision. And so now we have to leap again. The University of New England is preparing to leap again. So when you're thinking about where you'll go for your next education step, and I know at least one of you, I met one of you in the cafe who's already enrolled in another degree. Yeah, we'll see you soon for a second graduation. We'll be watching how fast the world moves, how fast technology moves, how fast and what nature of involvement we should have with communities, and in particular the life of the students who come to study with us, what we call the life load, how we become part of the life, how we fit into life. The conventional university says you're a two-dimensional cardboard cutout. You come here to study and we don't really know or care what goes on in the rest of your life. That hasn't been the University of New England, and we'll be doubling down, to use the bad cliche on that, over the next few years. So if you're in a place in your career, in your life, and you're thinking, I need a bit of something here, I need some direction shift, or I need some growth and development, come back and look here. And if you don't see what you want here, come and tell us that that's the case. Come and work with us. The early curriculum of this university, another radical thought, was developed between the academics and the first students as they progressed through their first years. Really a remarkable set of visions and a remarkable set of students who came in our institution. Since UNE's first Vice-Chancellor, Sir Robert Madgwick, gave an occasional address at UNE's 1959 graduation, this podium, that podium, has been followed by hundreds of fascinating speakers, both UNE alumni and others, who take the opportunity to impart their wisdom and experience on the graduating cohort. One thing we like about that, when we bring back major leaders, when we bring back people who are considered to be very important, whether it's corporate, whether it's community, whether it's politics, we find that when people come back here, there's a sense of coming home. And so when they impart words to you, when they speak to you, have a think about the person that's talking to you, not necessarily the position that's talking to you. And have a think about the words of someone who this is their family as it is your family. Cassandra Banks is one of those people. She's a highly experienced solicitor with well over a decade in general practice, focusing on family law, children's care and protection, property, wills and estate planning, and guardianship and financial management matters. Cassandra is now a Judicial Registrar of the Federal Circuit of the Family Court of Australia. In 2018, she became the principal of Susan Green Legal Practice, which she then rebranded to CB Legal in 2021. Even legal practices do acronyms. I thought universities were the best place for that. Cassandra has been an influential figure in the Clarence River and Coffs Harbour Regional Law Society, holding roles as President, Vice President and Co-President until late 2022. Beyond her local contributions, Cassandra has had a significant impact on the New South Wales legal community. Elected to the New South Wales Law Society Council in 2015, Cassandra ultimately became the President of the Law Society of New South Wales in 2023. Her involvement with the Law Society of New South Wales began with New South Wales Young Lawyers, where she became a member of the Executive Committee in 2014. Cassandra's dedication and leadership were recognised in 2017 when she received the New South Wales Young Lawyer of the Year by the then Justice Beazley, now Governor of New South Wales, and was named a finalist in the Lawyers Weekly Women in Law Awards in 2017 and 2018. She was also awarded a 2021 Regional Lawyer of the Year in Women's Lawyers Association of New South Wales Awards and was a finalist for Private Practice Lawyer of the Year. Now, just before I ask you to welcome Cassandra, I wanted to give you a little bit of a hint about graduations, because for many of you, you'll only do this once, and for many of you, it won't be a regular event. They can tend to be a little bit solemn. This is a celebration. You are now graduands, spelt ANDS. In a moment, you'll be asked to stand, and the Chancellor will declare your degrees. You will then sit as graduates. You will then roar with applause. That is the point at which they graduate. Each one of them then will come forward to receive their testimony from the Chancellor. You will roar again. We love to see the change of the smile of the face of the graduates as they come up the stairs and they hear your voices. So please, this is not church, this is a celebration, and enjoy the time. It's quite a long time to see everyone come through, but if you roar for everybody, the time passes really, really quickly. So please enjoy the graduation ceremony. Chancellor, graduands, guests, in light of her achievements, I'm honoured to introduce Ms Cassandra Banks as your occasional address speaker this morning. Please give her a warm welcome.
Thank you. I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet, the Unwan people and the Kamilaroi people. I also acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I have lived and worked for the past 14 years of my professional life, which spans the Eora Nation in Sydney, Dungari in Kempsey area, the Gambanya Nation in Coffs Harbour, and the Bundjalung Nation that includes the Grafton region. I now call Albury home, and I acknowledge the Wiradjuri people. I acknowledge Chancellor James Harris, and this being his last ceremony. Distinguished guests, and importantly, everyone here before me today. When I was invited to address you today, I was told I could talk about anything, and I thought that was a bit of a risque move in this day and age. However, luckily for your Chancellor, I have taken a conservative route. Graduations are such a wonderful celebration of hard work and of people who have gone to great lengths to realise immense knowledge, ultimately for the benefit of our communities and our collective futures. It is also a celebration of the people around you, whom without their support, life would be very different. As human beings, we are notoriously average at effectively promoting ourselves and telling the world exactly just how good we are at what we do and where our potential could lead, as individuals and also as part of a bigger picture. Self-promotion is uncomfortable, and the culture of refraining from tooting one's own horn is rife in Australia. When I think of times when I have felt genuinely inspired and moved, it has been when someone has told me their story, raw, often without glitz or glamour, but with humility and authenticity. At the start of my legal career, I did not consider myself to be inspirational, and I definitely did not set out to be a leader. But what I've learnt in a relatively short period of time is that it only takes one person to show kindness, compassion, give a moment of their time to listen or share a story, and they become a leader, intentionally or otherwise. I was born in Bathurst. My family lived in suburbia, but for a very long time there were still sheep and cattle over the back wire fence. Some of my favourite childhood memories include the local primary school gymkhana that, after closing to the general public, turned into a licensed venue for the parents who had run fundraiser stalls all day, and then to kick up their heels while the kids run amok in the paddocks out in the dark. Another is going to the V8 supercars. We'd head up to Mount Panorama at the crack of dawn to secure a prime spot at the starting line and head home at 6 at night, covered in dirt and hot dog sauce and smelling like burnt rubber. It wasn't environmentally friendly, but it was certainly excellent fun. In 1999, my father left a long career as a cartographer to support my mother in advancing her career as a teacher, and we moved to Coffs Harbour. I had always wanted to be a primary school teacher like my mother, but in year 8 or 9, I realised that at that time, I really didn't like children. From year 10, I undertook legal studies, and it was clear that the law was going to be my way forward. I received early entry to a double degree of arts law here at the University of New England, and as we heard, I've lived on campus for 5 whole years. After graduating, I worked in a couple of regional law firms. I was also blessed to have some phenomenal mentors along the way, and I am forever grateful to those people. I became involved in the Law Society of New South Wales in my first year of legal practice. At the Coffs Harbour Regional Law Society annual general meeting, at which I was not present, I was elected the Young Lawyers representative. From there, I ultimately became the Regional Law Society president, a role I filled over a couple of stints for around 9 years. I was also elected the New South Wales Young Lawyers Executive Chancellor in 2015, and I was elected to the Law Society of New South Wales in the same year. As we heard in my bio, in 2018, I took over as sole principal of Susan Green Legal Practice, which then evolved into CB Legal, and the acronym is sadly just my name. Suddenly, I had to work out how to manage a business with staff and a professional career at the same time. In 2020, I became Treasurer of the Law Society of New South Wales, which is an approximately $300 million organisation. At the time, I had a newborn baby, was completing the Australian Institute of Company Directors course, and as a side note, I don't necessarily recommend doing all of this at the same time, but my message is it is possible. By March 2020, the world was coming to the realisation that our lives were going to be turned upside down. And as if a baby, running a law firm, and a pandemic were not enough, my father had a heart transplant just as lockdown number 1 was looming. I don't think humanity necessarily appreciates just how much we can take as human beings until we are absolutely tested beyond all boundaries. In various ways, COVID taught us so many lessons, positive and negative, but at the top of the list is quite possibly resilience. In 2021, I was the Law Society Junior Vice President, and 2022, the Senior Vice President. And for a whirlwind period from 1 January until 31 December 2023, I was the president of the largest professional organisation with a voluntary membership in Australia, with some 40,000 solicitor members. I was also the youngest female to ever hold the role, and the only one to do so with a 3-year-old child. Again, not something I'd specifically recommend, but it is possible. The role required my family and I to relocate from Coffs Harbour to Sydney for 12 months. My husband took a year off from his career because my job was often 6+ days a week, all hours of the day and night, both nationally and internationally. We knew together that it was only 12 months and such a huge opportunity, not only for myself but for my family, particularly as I was under the age of 40, and to clarify, I'm still under the age of 40. Prior to 2023, there had only been one other president under the age of 40, and most likely under the age of 55, in the 180-year history of the organisation. It was an incredible year that I am so very grateful for. And when I started, I wasn't entirely sure how one went about being the president of the Law Society. I knew what I wanted to focus on, but I didn't really know what I was truly in for until I hit the ground running. In 12 months, I delivered literally hundreds of speeches and presentations to anywhere between 5 and 500 people. I learnt to be less terrified of the media, and I spoke at swearing-in ceremonies for new judges and magistrates. I met people starting out in their careers and those who were skipping gleefully towards retirement, and at every stage in between. I addressed 400 people at the opening of law term and asked the legal community of New South Wales, including the Governor and the Chief Justice, to trust me from the term of my presidency. By December last year, I was a well-oiled speech and PR machine, but what I was only just realising was how much one person from the country with a small regional career who was just giving something a red-hot go could affect and influence others in such a significant and meaningful way. And what I was, and am still most proud of, was that I was able to just be me the whole way. I dared to be me, and trust me, sometimes that me is uncouth, swears a little bit too much, and yells at racing cars. And in the spirit of full transparency, I had executive coaching, I had media training, and I used the online Google pronunciation tool more times than I can count. But at the end of the day, when I met with people right across Australia and the world, what they needed was to be heard and to feel a genuine connection to the people they were engaging with. That's how change was effected, and that's how amazing things are achieved. With the daily onslaught of technology and the ever-increasing pace of life, always come back to who you are, what you know, and what you hope to learn from others. And while that sounds like a Cadbury commercial, we cannot ever underestimate the power of resourcefulness, passion, and empathy, and the importance of acknowledging the efforts of ordinary people. People face some amazing hardships in life that we may never know about. They build themselves around it and they move with it. And they will affect change, subtly perhaps in ways that reflect who they are and the diversity of experiences we need in important roles within our communities. And when I say they, I mean you. We have been empowered with an incredible education, and we have a duty to face our world in all of its glory and its ugliness. Rather than look away, we have the power to approach our world with initiative, courage, and specialised knowledge, and we will make our communities better for it. Always ask questions, always seek answers. Dare to be yourself and show your vulnerability. Don't sell yourself short. Just because you don't tick every box for something doesn't mean you will not be amazing at it. Try for things that are in the uncomfortable zone. Push out to where your feet don't touch the ground and the water gets deeper. Continue to share your personal stories. It is not a weakness. Be brave, wear red, and you might just change the world without realising it.
Thank you, Cassandra. What a life. What a life you could live, and you will live in the future. It's a great pleasure to have you here and to have you as a member of our family. So thank you again. It is my great pleasure to introduce the graduation ceremony musician, Hannah Neilson. This part of the world is blessed with an enormous number of talented people, Hannah being one, and she's going to perform for us this morning. And please remain seated during the performance.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture, 'cause since I've come on home, oh, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over and stop making a fool out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. Hope you find the right man who will fix it for you. Are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine? You were dodging all the time. Are you still dizzy? 'Cause since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over and stop making a fool out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, Valerie. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture, 'cause since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over and stop making a fool out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, 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 oh, Valerie, 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 why don't you come on over, Valerie? Yeah.
Thank you, Hannah, very much. It's always a great pleasure to have you. I now call upon the delegate of the Chancellor, the Chair of the Academic Board, the Dean of Graduate Research, Professor Jane Stadler, to present the candidates for their degrees and awards.
Would the graduands please stand? Chancellor, I submit to you the list of candidates as set out in the programme who have completed all requirements and are entitled to be admitted to their respective academic degrees and awards.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit these candidates to their respective academic degrees and awards.
Would the graduates please be seated? Would the graduates also receiving the New England Award please stand? Chancellor, the New England Award is granted to selected graduates who have demonstrated outstanding service to the university and the wider community and commitment to others. It is a non-academic award given by the university in recognition of the skills, attributes, leadership, and personal qualities that are developed through extracurricular activity, committee membership, voluntary work, and good citizenship. Today, the university is proud to be presenting these graduates with this award.
Through your actions to achieve the New England Award, you have shown yourselves to be high-achieving, proactive and outward-looking members of the university community. The university is proud of the relationships you and we have developed through the many organisations that you have worked with. And as a result of your effort, this place is better off. On behalf of the Council and the university community, I extend to you our hearty congratulations.
Would the graduates... Would the graduates who are also receiving a Vice-Chancellor's Scholar Award please stand? Chancellor, the Vice-Chancellor's Scholar Award is granted to selected bachelor's and master's degree graduates who are graduating with a grade point average of 6.7 or higher on the 7-point grade point scale. Today, the university is proud to be presenting these graduates with this award.
The Vice-Chancellor's Scholarship Award is a way for the university to recognise and celebrate and reward the achievements of our most academically high-achieving students. Through their actions to achieve the Vice-Chancellor Scholars Award, you have shown yourselves to be hard-working and disciplined members of the university community, but also leaders of your fellow students to see what is possible. The university congratulates you and the Council congratulates you and extends you our hearty congratulations. Thank you.
Chancellor, I now have the honour to present to you all those graduates newly admitted to academic degrees and awards, commencing with those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Philosophy thesis format innovation portfolio, who are able to be present at this ceremony. Our first awardee for the Doctor of Philosophy is Biggie Bafour Awa, and I will read the title of the area of expertise: Isometric Resistance Training and Remote Ischemic Conditioning as Adjunct Therapies for Hypertension. Jayadevan Chambra Mundachalal. Impact of Human Capital, Economic Globalization and Innovation on Economic Growth, a Revisit. Ali Daneshmand. Potency of new additives in controlling coccidiosis and necrotic enteritis in broiler chickens under in vitro and in vivo conditions. Sangay Dima. Systematics of Eastern Australian flavelum. Lucy Florence Farrow, also receiving the New England Award, exploring the brain and behaviour of a reverse keystone species, the noisy miner. Timothy George Frauenfelder, Diversity and Ecology of Australian Dinosaurs, with insights into dental ecomorphology. Lorraine Karen Smith-Gordon, a longitudinal resilience comparison of Australian regenerative and conventional beef cattle production systems and the establishment of a set of guiding principles for regenerative agriculture in Australia. Thomas Charles Heddle, Dung Quality Implications for Fecundity and Ecosystem Services of Temperate Dung Beetles. Helen Therese Kennedy, Integrative Taxonomic Revision of Melicris, Robert Brown, Ericaceae subfamily Epicridoiae. Thi Ha Lien Lee, farmers' decision-making to switch from rice to more adaptive and profitable systems in the Vietnamese Upper Mekong Delta. Bonnie Taylor Mays, also receiving the New England Award, for her thesis on the influence of pen space quantity and quality on sheep welfare in the context of Australia's live export industry. Fergasa Dirara Mulita, a human rights approach to livelihood security in Ethiopia, the case of displaced farmers in peri-urban Addis Ababa. Doctor of Philosophy Innovation, Azril Amirul bin Zachariah, the IFLM Atlas Project, the development of innovation for the improvement of forestry law in peninsular Malaysia from a derivative project stakeholder perspective. Chancellor, I now have the honour to invite the Interim Dean of the Faculty of Science, Agriculture, Business and Law, Professor Sujana Adapa, to present those graduates newly admitted to degrees and awards, commencing with the degree of Master, who are able to be present at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I now have the honor to present to you those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Master, Graduate Diploma, and Graduate Certificate from the Faculty of Science, Agriculture, Business and Law. Master of Business Administration, Nathan Naker. Aaron Paul Perrett. Melissa May Schrader. Master of Business Administration, Data and Cyber Management, Aaron Alexander Corby. Master of Business Administration International, Anisha Sanjana Singh. Master of Computer Science, William Tong, also receiving the Vice Chancellor's Scholars Award. Master of Data Science, Dipendra Bhattarai. Amrit Giri. Quirong Wen. Master of Economics, Samuel Miller, also receiving the Vice Chancellor's Scholars Award. Lachlan Howard Thomas. Master of Environmental Science and Management, Corey William Brond. Lauren Marie Crofts. Master of Human Resource Management, Michelle Andrea Camona. Carl Robert Nielsen. Master of Information Technology, Potec. Master of Laws, Eden Monique Teresa Hull. Robert Martin O'Brien. Ellen Kimtai Ruto. Master of Neuroscience, Cameron Michael Tennyson Woods. Master of Professional Accounting, Callie Hannah, also receiving the Master of Laws. Sushant Rejmi. Qazi Nawaz Alam Saad. Alina Shrestha. Master of Science in Agriculture, Edrinsola Olitimilenia Edniran. Jetlet Guwe Ankual. Gina Benavides Quaran. Chandresh Kumar Bipin Bhai Patel. Kaladevan Satyaseelan. Pavinder Kaur Sidhu Brar. Vinita Dahal Timilsina. Graduate Diploma in Data Science, Bobby Therese Pacer. Graduate Diploma in Financial Planning, Kurt Philip Ambruster. Graduate Diploma in Science, Brett William Nicole. Graduate Certificate in Accounting, Belinda Jane Harvey. Justin Nahimana. Graduate Certificate in Environmental Science, Stephanie Louise Riley. Graduate Certificate in Human Resource Management, Fiona Joy Hughes. Graduate Certificate in Management, Robert Wainhouse. Graduate Certificate in Neuroscience and Business, Claudia Letitia Nickel. Graduate Certificate in Neuroscience and Education, Jennifer Louise Quinn. Chancellor, I now have the honor to invite the delegate of the head of the School of Science and Technology, Associate Professor Erica Smith, to present those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Bachelor with Honors and Bachelor, and those graduates awarded the diploma who are able to be present at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I now have the honour to present to you those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Bachelor with Honours, Bachelor, and those graduates awarded the Advanced Diploma and Diploma from the School of Science and Technology. Bachelor of Science with Honours, Caitlin Taylor George, First Class Honours, also receiving the University Medal. Thomas Ryan Leckie, Second Class Honours, Division 1. Bachelor of Biomedical Science, Joseph Aidan Carlton. Hayley Mahon Connor. Catherine Robinson, also receiving the new Vice-Chancellor Scholars Award. Bachelor of Computer Science, Elita Tatiana Masick. Mick McCluskey. Hayden McChrystal. Bachelor of Exercise and Sports Science, Matthew Graham Kanowski. Bachelor of Science, Tammy Louise Dillon. Isabel Griffin. Elisa May Hazard. Yegalim Tsege Kilita. Anakit Sharma. Hamish Watson. Diploma in Science, Jamira Grace Baker. Zainab Harris. Joshua Lill. Oscar Douglas Mazaros. Ingrid Eleanor Ronfeld. Kai Peter Saddington. Isaac Daniel Lee Sutton. Chancellor, I now have the honour to invite the Head of School of Environmental and Rural Science, Professor Carl Vaness, to present those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Bachelor and those graduates awarded the Diploma and Undergraduate Certificate who are able to be present at this ceremony.
Chancellor. Chancellor, I now have the honour to present to you those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Bachelor and those graduates awarded the Diploma and Undergraduate Certificate from the School of Environmental and Rural Science. Bachelor of Agriculture, Bachelor of Business, Charles Henry Bergmeyer. Patrick Francis Birchall. Lachlan Craig Frost. Benjamin Ian Serge Hamperson. Bridie Kate Mulligan. Lauren Meg Officer. Duncan Oliver Sidmouth Webb. Bachelor of Agricultural Production and Management, Max Anthony Johnston. Bachelor of Agriculture, Melissa Ann Armstrong. Hamish John Cannington. Savannah Alicia Roberg Butsikakis. My apologies. Bachelor of Animal Science, William Charles Clemson. Grace Elizabeth Pearce. Bachelor of Environmental Science, Indiana Ann Willoughby. Bachelor of Rural Science, Ilana J. Baston. Bachelor of Zoology, Callum Castile. Natalie Jane Green. Casey Long. Chloe Violet Rose Wilson. Diploma in Agricultural Studies, Fraser Anthony Malloy. Georgie Kate Phillips. Undergraduate Certificate in Paleontology, Emily Ashby House. Chancellor, I now have the honour to invite the interim head of the UNE Business School, Professor Renato Villano, to present those graduates newly admitted to the degree of Bachelor and those graduates awarded the diploma who are able to be present at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I now have the honor to present to you those graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor and those graduates awarded a diploma from the UNA Business School. Bachelor of Accounting, Leandro Juan Bertero. Trudy Ann Brown. Cheryl Ann Mason. Nikita Faye Moore. Thomas Peter Packeridge. Brian Villoso. Bachelor of Agribusiness, Ashley Isabella Cross. Dan Montgomery Lethbridge. Molly Grace Raff. Bachelor of Business, Mark William Keith Bain. Matthew John Crosby. Barry and Alan Davidson. Michael Hintz. Emma Hall. Amber Lee Johnson. Kelsey Sean Jones. Gracia Marco Trigiana. Sally Ann Noble. Dianagi Pasan Biswajit Pereira. Sen Yi Yu. Bachelor of Commerce in Accounting, Rochelle Louise Dawsett. Bachelor of Commerce in Financial Planning, Sean Stapleton. Bachelor of Organizational Leadership, Benjamin Alderson. Duncan Neil Charles Cobb. David Fairhall. Naomi Gammon. Adam James Gaunt. Shalom James Hogan. Bryce Jeffrey. Blake Raymond Johnson. Kylie Ann Robinson. Ashley Margaret Salton. Travis John Ward. Diploma in Business, Aidan Heinen. Chancellor, I have now the honor to invite the head of School of Law, Professor Mark Perry, to present those graduates newly admitted to the degree of bachelor and those awarded the diploma who are able to be present at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I now have the honor to present to you those graduates newly admitted to the degree of bachelor and those graduates awarded the diploma from the School of Law. Bachelor of Agriculture, Bachelor of Laws, Cassandra Elizabeth Bush. Bachelor of Criminology, Bachelor of Laws, Nicola Lynn Mills. Elizabeth Shorrock. Kiara Louise Want. Frederick Lalgan. Bachelor of Laws, Carolyn Buka. Annabelle Mariah Compton. Anthony Day. Bronwyn Ann Debenham. Lizzie Maria Duggan. Lachlan Allen Evans. Chloe May Hayward. Damien Peter Jones, also receiving the Diploma in Prosecution and Advocacy. Mitchell Linus Jones. Nathan Wallace Kitchen. Ulila Koshevaleva. Lauren Elise McNamara. Josiah Moore. Surinder Kumar Pawa. Mia Grace Parks. Melissa Maria Pavihi. James Frederick Reed. Jasmine Samantha Claire Russo. Amanda Sherwood. Kim Louise Sinnall. Jason Victor Chung. India Rose Vilma Warren. Bia Ruadia Williams. Cody Albert Williams. Roseanne Adele Wright. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of awards from the Faculty of Science, Agriculture, Business and Law to graduates who are able to present at this ceremony. And thank you.
Thank you. I now invite Samuel Miller, Master of Economics, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge and offer my thanks to Uncle Colin and the Anawan people on whose traditional lands UNE now stands, as well as its Chancellor, Mr. James Harris, and Vice-Chancellor, Professor Chris Moran, for this opportunity. I also thank all the distinguished guests, academic staff, and my fellow graduates, and of course, all of our family and friends who have all taken the time to be a part of this joyous day. As graduates, we could not have achieved our goals, and we wouldn't be here today without the support of our families. And it is, of course, important as academics that we give credit where credit is due. Therefore, it is my honour to give this vote of thanks on behalf of all of you to all of your friends and family. On a personal note, I have to thank my family for their love and support. Each and every one of them deserves a mention, but I'll reserve special mention for my mother, Angelina, who has never stopped asking if I'm okay and doing everything she can to support me, regardless of anything else going on. It's the kind of mother's love that can be simultaneously exasperating, but I am qualified to tell you as an economist, it is the most precious and priceless thing in the entire world. I also want to thank my sister just for being here. It is something that seems perhaps so inconsequential, but the value of having you over every week for dinner is as well priceless. To our partners as well, we offer thanks. And I want to thank my wonderful wife, Katrina, without whose emotional and material support I could never have found the energy or motivation to even begun the journey that led me here, let alone complete it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. To her family as well, who have welcomed me as a brother and a son, their support and enthusiasm for me in taking on this quest in my learning has been invaluable. On the topic of starting this journey, I would like to give special thanks again on behalf of you graduates to the University of New England, our teachers and the staff. In particular, I would like to thank the staff of the Bespoke Concierge. In comparison to a somewhat chaotic undergraduate elsewhere, the opportunity to study again at UNE has not only felt like a second chance, but a breath of fresh air when I discovered just how supportive and accommodating learning here was. When life was throwing me some of the hardest curveballs it has ever thrown, just knowing that I could ask for help and understanding just by itself gave me the mental space to keep striving forward. And when it came to deciding to take on my master's after a graduate diploma, I couldn't have imagined doing it anywhere else. Deserving special mention is my dissertation supervisor, Professor David Hadley, who was not an instructor so much as a genuine intellectual partner who helped to expand and refine my ideas into something that I'm sure will remain a cornerstone of my career for many years to come. As well, us graduates have to thank our professional work colleagues and peers. In particular, I would like to thank my work colleagues who shared in the excitement of economic issues and sympathised with its frustrations whenever I needed it. I would like to thank the professional societies of the Australasian Agricultural and Resource Economic Society and the Economic Society, whose communities have been vital handholds on the climb towards my dreams. Thank you for your camaraderie, advice, and the opportunity to stand tall amongst my peers. It is an honour to be led by the best and to be encouraged to lead and support those just behind. For those of you who are yet to join your own professional societies, I highly encourage it. And finally, how could any of us have done this without our friends? Those that were beside us, providing support and helping us through tough study days. I have to thank my friends who have never failed to turn up week after week to kick back, roll dice, and play Dungeons and Dragons. Your antics have never failed to make me laugh and lift whatever troubles that happen to be swarming overhead. You remind me that the reason we strive isn't necessarily to claim victory over a self-imposed mountain or goalpost. It's to live a life worth living and help to make a world where others can do the same. And to my fellow graduates, thank you all for being together here on this journey. It has been an honour and a pleasure to learn by your side. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel, very much. Before I close this ceremony, I would like to invite you to join the alumni of the University of New England, which you're now entitled to do. It's a great group of people. It's a worldwide family. And no matter where you work or live, the chances are you will be able to find a member, if not living in that city or town, but nearby. They're a friendly bunch, and I suggest you use them, even if it is just to find out where you get the best coffee, or where the kids go to school, or where the best place to live is, or what you should not do and what you can do in a foreign country. And also it gives us the opportunity to know what you're doing and where you're living, and you can find out what we're doing from time to time. And the other thing is the skills and the knowledge that you've learnt on your progression through this part of your studying career, use selfishly first for you and your families. Make sure that you live a better life, better circumstances and a better community. But also remember the communities that you live and work in. Use your skills and knowledge to help them. You'll find it a most rewarding and satisfying part of life to help your fellow man. And congratulations again. So I declare the ceremony closed. Firstly, I'd like to thank all the people who've got this graduation ceremony ready on your behalf. They've worked very hard. The grounds have looked magnificent, and these sessions have gone without fault. So on your behalf, I'd like to thank them. So now I declare the ceremony closed and ask you to stand for the singing of the academic anthem. And our new graduates, I ask to progress after the academic progression. Thank you very much.
I used to think, baby, you love me. Now, baby, I'm sure. And I just can't wait till the day when you knock on my door. Now every time I go for the mailbox, gotta hold myself down. 'Cause I just can't wait till you write me you're coming around. It's time to feel good. And it's time to feel good. It's time to feel good. Say it, say it, say it again now. It's time to feel good. Oh, yeah, now. And it's time to feel good. Time to feel good. Say it, say it, say it again now. And it's time to feel good. Oh, yeah, now. Time to feel good. It's time to feel good. And it's time to feel good. It's time to feel good. Walking on sunshine. Walking on sunshine. Walking on sunshine. Walking on sunshine. Thank you.